Morning. This is a test video. This is Audrey, Stitchy Witch 42. I'm not in the picture. If this is working, right now what you're seeing is my adapted floor stand. I had asked Mark a while back if he could adapt my Edmunds floor stand into something that I could use on my chair, my recliner, when I'm sitting back. So this is what he came up with for me. He measured how far apart the arms are on my chair, and he made these little feet, if you will, and they come down on the inside of the arms so that this can't slip off one way or the other. I like that. I can slide it back and forth on the chair and bring it up to me as I need to. He's got the legs here on either side with some spacers between them, so I can turn this around 360 degrees. So I thought that I would sit here and record a little video this morning showing you my adapted Edmunds floor stand. It's now my Edmunds chair stand. I don't know. It works really well for me. This is my lady, my Alphonse Mucha. I'm working on her. And I thought that I would just do some stitching and chatting for about 5 or 10 minutes. I have to wiggle my butt back and get in here. See, move this back just a little bit. There we are. So I finished this row here. This is the first 8 pages that have been completed of 24. I am working on the next 4 pages, and I like working on this two-handed. I learned how to do two-handed stitching last year? Yeah, last year when I was finishing up my other Alphonse Mucha, the Moon. I had a huge section down at the bottom of it that was all 310, and I decided that I was going to try and play with two-handed stitching then, and I found out that I really enjoy it. For me, now if you've been watching Anna Stitch Roadies, she's just starting to do some two-handed stitching, and like she brought up on her videos, I use my dominant hand on the bottom because even when I'm stitching in a Q-snap, my right hand is the one that always goes to the bottom and is easier to find the holes for my stitching. I tried doing it with my left hand underneath, and for the life of me, I could not figure out how to find the holes. Plus, the way I have my fabric wrapped around the scroll frames, what you see down here is the back side of the fabric, so while my hand or my arm doesn't exactly rest on it, I'm kind of holding my hand up from the fabric with my fingers. If my hand was to rest there, it would be on the back of the fabric, and since this is full coverage, I don't think that that would make any difference. I don't wash my pieces when I'm done. I never have. I would be afraid to. I don't know why. It just kind of scares me, the thought of putting them, getting them wet. I don't know why. It's just me. But anyway, I have found that this little stand that Mark adapted for my chair works great for me. And I enjoy working on her, and I'm getting a lot done on her the last couple of weeks since he put this together for me. I can also use this on my kitchen table because the bottom of these legs, even though they're L-shaped, it sits quite nicely on my kitchen table, and I can adjust the height that the stand is. These can be pushed up and down. I don't want to do that right now because the nut on this side gets loose really fast, and so that becomes a pain in the butt. But anyway, I just wanted to do this test video and spend a few minutes working on her. Oh, I had something that I wanted to tell you. Do you know how needles are made? One of the groups that I belong to on Facebook, a lady posted an article about how needles are made. So, you see my needle here? Imagine a piece of wire twice as long as this needle. Twice as long as this needle. They sharpen both ends of that wire, and then they stamp the eye. And when they stamp the eye, they stamp one side, then they flip it over, and they stamp the other side. So now you have this piece of wire that's twice as long as your needle. There's two eyes stamped into the piece of wire, and then they cut it apart between those two eyes, and they smooth the ends, the top end of the needle. Because of the way they're stamped, one side of the needle is actually wider, minutely wider than the other side. And the whole purpose behind that article was to tell you that if you're having problems threading your needle, turn it over to the other side and try threading it from the opposite side, because you might find that your threads go into it just slightly easier. How you tell which side is which, I have no clue. But I thought that was rather interesting to learn that one side of the eye of your needle is slightly wider than the other side of the eye of your needle. The things you can learn. I thought it was interesting. So anyway, I'm going to sit in my chair, do some stitching, finish my laundry, and see if I can get this to upload to YouTube. And if it works, well, then I can record a regular update next Monday and not have to write posts on YouTube that's saying, sorry, no video this week due to technical difficulties. Anyway, hopefully this works. Hopefully you're seeing this. If so, I'll see you again next week. Live long and stitch on, my friends. Bye-bye.